A young man, told he had only 2 years left to live. His body would slowly fail him. But instead of giving up, he chose to change science forever. This is the story of Stephen Hawking, a man who turned the greatest struggle of his life into the greatest triumph of human curiosity. Stephen William Hawking was born on January 8, 1942, in Oxford, England. By pure coincidence, it was exactly 300 years after Galileo's death, a symbolic beginning for a future genius. As a child, Stephen wasn't the top student in class. But he had something more powerful: endless curiosity. He loved to build things, take them apart, and ask questions no one else thought about. By the time he studied physics at Oxford, everyone around him knew he was destined for something big. But destiny had a cruel test waiting. At just 21 years old, while pursuing his PhD at Cambridge, Stephen received devastating news. Doctors told him he had ALS, a motor neuron disease. They said his muscles would waste away, and he had only 2 years to live. Imagine being young, full of dreams, and suddenly told the clock is ticking. At first, Stephen fell into despair. He thought his life was already over. But then, something changed. He realized he still had one thing that ALS could never take away: his mind. Stephen threw himself into his research. And soon, he shook the entire world of physics. He studied black holes, mysterious objects in space where gravity is so strong, not even light can escape. But Stephen made a bold discovery. Black holes aren't completely black. They emit tiny amounts of energy, now called Hawking radiation. This idea was revolutionary. It combined the two biggest forces of physics, quantum mechanics and general relativity, something no one had done before. Overnight, Stephen became one of the most important scientists in the world. As his fame grew, his body weakened. ALS stole his ability to walk. Then, it stole his ability to speak. After surgery in 1985, Stephen lost his voice completely. But technology came to his rescue. With a special speech device, he typed words using just a cheek muscle. The computer gave him a robotic voice that soon became iconic, calm, clear, and unforgettable. Through this voice, Stephen continued to lecture, debate, and inspire. In 1988, he reached millions with his book A Brief History of Time. It explained the mysteries of the universe in simple words. No one expected it, but it became a global bestseller, over 25 million copies sold. Suddenly, Stephen Hawking wasn't just a scientist. He was a world icon. He appeared in documentaries, gave interviews, and even guest-starred on Star Trek and The Simpsons. His humor, determination, and brilliance inspired people far beyond the walls of science. Doctors had once given him 2 years to live. But Stephen defied every prediction. He lived with ALS for more than 50 years. It was as if his burning will to explore the universe kept his body alive. He once said, "However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at." In his later years, Stephen turned his attention to humanity's future. He warned about dangers: artificial intelligence, climate change, nuclear war. But he also inspired hope. He urged humanity to keep reaching for the stars, to one day live among them. On March 14, 2018, Stephen Hawking passed away, fittingly, on Albert Einstein's birthday. He left behind a universe of ideas, and a legacy that will never fade. Stephen Hawking taught us that limitations do not define us. That the mind is stronger than the body. That even from a wheelchair, with barely a muscle left to move, you can touch the stars. As he once said, "Remember to look up at the stars, and not down at your feet." And so, we remember Stephen Hawking, not as a man trapped by illness, but as a man who unlocked the secrets of the cosmos, and inspired the world to dream without limits.